Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I'm unboxing some knives that are way overdue. So what happened is they thought they sent these to me, and I reached out and said, are you still planning on, I would really like to take a look at these, but it's okay if not. And they said, oh my gosh, we thought we did, but anyways, they're here. So I will link these down in the description. It does really help my channel when you use those links. I do appreciate that, but that's up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Let's go ahead and find out what on earth is in this package. Sorry, I have to make one cut off camera. Where's even the seam? Just because of where the shipping label is located, but maybe we'll just pull the contents out just immediately. Professional YouTube channel. Okay, obviously what we have here are a couple of Demco knives, and I can hear all of you saying at the same time, oh my god, finally, dude, catch up, you're so late. I know. And so I'm far from the first, probably one of the last to look at these, but I still want to give my thoughts because I've literally never experienced them. So we have one in 20 CV and one in one in AUS 10A. Obviously, some of these are more expensive and some of them are less expensive, but these are the Shark Cub. It's the smaller one. Okay, I'm going to point out something that I very much love right off the bat. This is, as they stated here, grivery or grivery. But it is contoured and textured in an extremely pleasant way. So yes, this is very lightweight, and it's very compact, but it feels not cheap at all. I mean, honestly, that was my biggest issue with the grivery versions of the, the AD 20.5 is, wow, this feels really cheap, like really stamped and pressed. Obviously super strong, right? But the contoured injectional plastic scales actually feel really nice. Surprisingly, I hate this clip. I hate it. I mean, that sounds really dramatic. I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, the clip is too, like, high, and then there's a dip, and it comes up, and then we have this spoon bill. I personally don't like it. I know you guys have told me a million times that Metal Complex, you have a weird take when it comes to pocket clips. And I've come to find that you guys are right. I feel like a lot of people don't resonate with me when it comes to pocket clips. That's okay. I don't like that pocket clip. But I started to say the ergonomic lines are actually still pretty spacey. I wear an XL glove, which means my hands are pretty normal for an adult male. I can get a full grip on this guy without choking up. Choking up, definitely a little bit better there. Shark lock in a good spot. This feels, I mean, it's totally solid. It feels exactly like my experience with the larger one. It's just a little bit smaller. And that blade shape, I think, will be appealing to a lot more people. AUS 10A, I've gone back and forth on that. Not going to win any awards for edge retention. Fairly similar in a lot of ways to, I think it's 440C. And the more I learn about 440C, the more I realize it's not that different from 154CM. I think 154CM was created as a small step up, depending on who you ask, from 440C. So I guess it's in that general vicinity. Stainless, tough for this type of composition. Not incredible in terms of edge retention, but fine considering, where you find it in the price ladder, of the knife world. The knife that my brother used and tested in this exact same steel was the first Demco AD 20.5. And I said, he's always opening boxes. And so I'd ask him, does it still feel sharp? And he said, no, but it still cuts. And I was like, okay. I mean, it's like wedging into the material. It did what he needed it to do. So yeah, in my experience, the same thing. The 20 CV versions of these knives definitely last a lot longer. In fact, all of the versions except for the 440As, last long, and that's to be expected, right? But fortunately, this type of, composition is going to be super easy to touch up. I am really surprised at how good this feels. This feels really, really nice. Yeah, I like it. So let's take a look at the other one. the one that's in 20 CV. If I can get it out of the container. There we go. So this guy, the premium one, is in G10. Would have been over the moon if this had been contoured the same way. This is legitimately contoured. It doesn't look like it, but I'm telling you, it's contoured. This is flat, right? But that's okay. Okay, right away, I prefer the opening hole. I wish they would do a version of this with the, like the opening hole on the clip point blade. But personally, for like day-to-day use, I prefer this, but I like the look of this, right? That's how it's always going to be. The opening slot or opening hole is positioned absolutely perfectly on this guy to do a reverse flick. And that's what you want, especially on a smaller knife. You don't want it way up here because it's weird, like the leverage is weird and it feels a little unnatural, like you kind of have to reposition and think about it before you deploy it. So this is in a great spot. Shark lock, feels like the shark lock, really, really good. I highly recommend at least a knife with the shark lock. Legitimately, I mean this legitimately, ever since the shark lock was unveiled, I have always considered it to be, a locking system that legitimately everybody should try. Because these Shark Lock ambidextrous folding knives are some of the best EDC folding knives on the market. And fortunately, they come in a wide variety of different sizes and shapes and steels and price ranges and stuff like that. But with the combination of like ease of manipulation, like the organic ease of manipulation, the ambidextrous nature, and the fact that the system is as strong as the Triad Lock, both invented by Andrew Demko. Lockup, extremely similar. One's just a lot easier to manipulate, right? So obviously, a super tiny shark lock is not going to be the same thing as an oversized Triad Lock on a 4 max whatever or 5 max, right? Those things are gigantic, right? But we're comparing apples to apples. Yeah, I think that was the idea there. So yeah, this is pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. I do like the combination of G10 and 20 CV. I'm just hoping that these things aren't outrageously priced. But, because in the past, that's what we saw, is the release of something that everybody knew was going to be popular. Nobody was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's so popular. Like everybody knew, right? Demco knew, the OEM knew, everybody, whether you were, involved in the knife community or not, everybody knew, right? So the price, of course, is just absolutely outrageous. Hopefully these are in a better spot. I bet these are still, they are manufactured in Taiwan, which is something that we do have to talk about. That's not China. The cost to have something manufactured in Taiwan is quite a bit higher than a Chinese OEM cost, right? So whether or not you care about that element, it's still factually true. It just does, right? So if you're not, if you don't care about the country of origin, then you can get a really good knife really cheap, just by throwing a rock in pretty much any direction of the knife world internet. But if you do care, these are manufactured in Taiwan, a little bit less than making it in the United States, definitely more than making it in China. So that's going to be a little bit of a part of it, but I do like this one. Honestly, I'm not upset with this one either. I think this is pretty cool. I just really hope it lands at a reasonable price point, but obviously this is just an unboxing, not a full review. I do have the AD 20.5 here that we can do a size comparison with. So that's what you're looking at. Real quick here, and then let's go ahead and measure it. So the overall length of, we'll do the 20.5 first. That's a 7.5 inch knife, a little under, maybe 7.35. The Shark Cub coming in at 6.85. Same with this guy, exactly the same. Blade length on the Shark Cub, 2.75 inches with a 2.5 inch cutting edge. This is great if you live in an area with a 3 inch knife flaw. That makes this a super duper ideal travel knife. In fact, that's probably what will happen with this guy, is it will become the dedicated travel knife given the length of blade, right? That is extremely cool. I like that. That's a much better option. This is probably, given the size of it, it's probably one of the best strength to weight ratio knives in existence. Almost certainly. And same with the blade length on this guy, 2.75 and 2.5 inches on your cutting edge. We have a little bit of, no, okay, all right. I'm just looking at the factory cutting bevels. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay. Well, that's going to be it until I review them. and I'll review them together, right? Because it's the same knives, just different materials. That's going to be it today, guys. Links for these down in the description. You can check them out. Honestly, first impressions, I think these are great. Just, have to check the price. I got to carry them, use them, stuff like that. But I have a feeling they're as good as everybody else says that they are. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok, _metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.